Well, hi friends, how are you today? It's Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff, and we're going to be doing another DIY project today. So let me know if you are watching the replay. You can comment the word replay and you may get a chance to win some stencil prizes after this live has finished. But right now, if you are on the live, hi Kimberly, first to comment there, then please let me know. And oops, just got to turn my sound down on my laptop over here so it doesn't make big noises. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Hi Joyce Ann, how are you today? Well friends, I'm just looking for our live here so I can see the comments on my laptop because, yes, Kimberly, woohoo, free stencils, yes. So if you are live here, we are giving away free stencils at the end of our live, so don't forget to join in the conversation. Let us know where you're watching from. Hi Susan, thank you for saying hello. Hi Barb, Mary's here, regular Mary, Dominica's here. Yes, just so many wonderful familiar faces. It's a beautiful community here at Essential Stencil. You're right here on the Essential Stencil page. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Stencil of the Month Club. So if you have friends that have not yet joined our DIY crafting community that's all about stencils, the transfers, and all of the fun things to make signs and stencil on furniture and everything. If you have friends who aren't in the club yet, why don't you tag them here, hit the little share button, and here it is, hit that button and let them know that we are live here, and they can get their first month free using my code IRESTORESTUFF in the Stencil of the Month Club. The reason we're pushing that this week is because the window is 7 days that the club is open, and then it closes then until all those are shipped out and so on, and then we reopen again for another 7 days next month. So it's the open window. Now is the time to join the club. So if you are here and you've been thinking about joining the Stencil of the Month Club, now's your chance. So get that half price off your first month by using my code IRESTORESTUFF. You can follow me at IRESTORESTUFF anywhere on the internet, on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, all of the different places. So let's talk about, what do you say, Terry? Oh no, Kimberly's saying maybe you're having technical difficulties. I always just like to make sure that we are on, we're live, that everyone can hear. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much for sprinkling and sharing the love around and sharing our live today. Today, let me show you, if you haven't already seen it, from some of our other wonderful ambassadors here this week. So we have 2 days left to join the Stencil of the Month Club, and this is February's design, February 2023, and it's beautiful spring design with flowers. So that's it there. You can see it at stencilofthemonthclub.com, and if you go there, the link is right there in the description of our live. It will say 2 days left to join. There's a little countdown clock there, so this today and right now is when you want to take advantage of that. Hi Sandy, how are you? Thank you so much for saying hello. So let your friends know that we are live right now. Hello Nancy, good evening, and Diana, Joy, wonderful to see you here. So it's all of the birth month flowers. So let's see, it's got all the months of the year. So here are the flowers. So if you didn't already know your birth month, you'll see it right here. So let me know what is, maybe you have a different favorite flower than the ones that are the birth months. So there's January through April. And then we've got May through August here. So there's May. There's the May lily, of course. June, I can't see. July's. June is the rose. Aren't they lucky? Who has a June birthday? Let me know. So Donna says hers is violet. Thank you so much. Yes, Sarah from Texas. I love this month's stencils too. So many things. And I'm going to be showing you some things today that you can do with all of this set plus the add-on. So there's August is Poppy. And the last one I'll show you is, so there's always, every month you get delivered to your door set or a set of 3 stencils this large, and sometimes they'll have different components that you can mix and match together. So this month's theme is spring, and we've got all of the beautiful flowers for each month. So this one, December, Narcissus. I don't know even how you say that, but I looked that up because I thought that was a daffodil. And then when I looked it up, I saw daffodil as the common name, but this is the more biological, no, what am I saying? Yeah, the biological name, is that what you call it? They are so nice, Debbie. All right, so that's the basic stencil set that you'll get. Whether you choose the add-on or not, then is another thing. So let me show you the add-on, because I want to be using, this is the one I'm most excited about. So this is the month you want to opt in for the add-on. Yes, Essential Stencils, put the link there where you can see the club. So these are the wonderful signs that we can use combined with the garden. Grandma's garden, whose grandma has a garden, our family garden. So we'll be talking about and using that one today. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. And sisters are different flowers from the same garden. I want to be using some from that today and telling you about my 2 girls, Amber and Tori, who have started gardening. And they didn't get it from me. So stay tuned and let me know where you're tuning in from. Love to see, and let's get started on our project today. So the things you'll need, probably if you're stenciling, would be painter's tape, stencil brushes, which you can get from Essential Stencil. They come in a set of 4 different sizes, different thicknesses. So we've got small right through to the large ones. So you'll need those today. If you're following along in my project, you will need also a piece of cardstock or a paper towel or a paper plate. This is going to be your offloading thing, offloading piece of paper. Yeah, lots of people saying they're excited about the new set coming, and you've joined the Stencil of the Month Club. So we'll have our stencil set. The other one set that I wanted to use today, I think I'm only using one, is on the regular Essential Stencil page, and I have added a link in our description, is the herbs tags. Now I put the link there in the description because I will be using this to add to my stencil design today. There's only about 18 of these left, and they are we've got oregano. Do you say oregano or oregano? I know we say different things in Australia than you pronounce them over there. So mint, we have parsley, basil, thyme, and rosemary. So that's the herb set. Those are all on. There's some other fun stencils that you could coordinate and use with the gardening Stencil of the Month set. The puns, the garden puns, who's got those? They're a fun set to add to your gardening. The fruit puns. And of course, if you're doing veggie garden and not flower garden, these would come in super handy too for little stakes you can put in your garden. It's the garden veggie labels. And I believe these are on sale at the moment. I forgot my little notes here. These are on sale. The veggie labels are on sale for $5.95. So another reminder, which is another good thing about this, is in the regular site, there's free shipping for January, all of January. Now that does not apply to the Stencil of the Month Club, so don't get confused. The free shipping January is just for the things on the main Essential Stencil site, okay? Hope that clarifies that. Hello, Sue. Great to see everybody. We've got such a fun community here. The other thing that I was going to mention with the Stencil of the Month Club as I get my boards ready is that you get to join the private, yeah, it is a private Facebook group. It's a community of stencilers who have joined the Stencil of the Month Club, and there is so much inspiration over there. You guys, I'm always blown away by some of the projects that people are posting in there from their Stencil of the Month Club sets, but also from the main Essential Stencil sets. Yeah, so many fun things. Yes, Debbie says the free shipping is great. Yes, that is from the main Essential Stencil site, so free shipping does not apply to the Stencil of the Month Club set. And that's a good question for Essential Stencil. I'm not sure of the answer to that one. Someone just mentioned, does the free shipping include the new spring collection, which I thought I'd mention. It might have popped up in your notices too about the brand new spring bundle coming next week, January 23rd. So Essential Stencil, can you tell us that? Does the free shipping, because they will probably pre-order in January, I'm wondering if that includes free shipping too. So that's a good question for Essential Stencil. We will wait for their answer on that. If you see that, keep in tune to the comments and they'll probably help me answer that in a minute. All right, Maria, it's been a while. I'm so glad you've joined and so glad you're here. I'm looking down at comments on my laptop so that when I point you down to my project here, when I show you what we're doing, I can still see your comments and hopefully answer some of them, but I don't get to all of them. But I do love to look at the comments after our live goes live. So here we are with February's Stencil of the Month Club set. I'll just pop that down a little bit further. We've got the add-on here, which I'll be using today, and the beautiful flowers. Now, the boards I'm using are just random recycled timber that I came across, don't even know where. I've had them in my garage, so I've cleaned them off, sanded them smooth. One surface is sanded smooth, this side's a bit rough. All ready to stencil some garden signs today. And then these I found at a thrift store, and they've got these little hooks just here and one here. I guess you could hook them if you wanted to another signboard. You could kind of add some more hooks and add them there. So, or you could just take the hooks out, but I thought they'd make a cute sign for one of the signs I want to make today is for my, my girls have been planting veggies and herbs and things like that over at their grandma's garden. So literally grandma's garden. Well, they have property, and so there's a huge garden bed that my dad is feeling like he can't keep up with. It's at 75 or, you know, I can't even remember what that is right now. But in his older ages, in his older years, he's feeling a bit beyond the whole gardening thing. But my girls popped up and said, can we use one of your garden beds and we'll grow some veggies in there? So they're so keen to do that, and I'm really proud of them because I am not a gardener and they didn't get it from me. It must have skipped this generation and gone straight to the next. But let me know in the comments, do you have a garden at your place, whether it's just some pots, and we do have some pots of herbs and things here at our place, but let me know, do you have a garden? I know that a lot of people, especially during the whole pandemic, last couple of years, have done a bit of like, you know, when the prices, especially of veggies and things getting high, they've started their own garden beds and herbs and to grow their own things. So I thought I'd make one for the girls and call it, and I could have used this whole sign, but because I had this little tiny bit, I thought we could fit on there Sisters Garden, and then add some of these little herb tags that I mentioned earlier onto that. So first of all, I'll sort of find the center of our sign, and I'll probably do this in white because that's going to stand out against the dark brown. I'm just using Fusion Mineral Paint, which is, I sell this one here in Australia, but you can get a affiliate link from me if you'd like to know where you can get Fusion Mineral Paint, but you can use any paint for stenciling. I do like Fusion, especially for if this is going to be outdoors. It's very durable. I will seal it over the top. Eva, you've got a few plants, but you'd love to have time to garden more, and veggies, yes. Paula's no garden for me. Oh, Donna, you're going to try potatoes. My dad grew potatoes in his garden too, yes. Great idea. All right, so I need my cardboard that I'm going to offload on. And I've got this is the add-on for the February. I will kind of go over and mention things again because some people join a little bit later and others have been on since the beginning of the live. But let your friends know if they are not members of the Stencil of the Month Club. Let them know we're live right now, showing you a great deal. You can get 50% off your first month using my code, IRESTORESTUFF. Okay, so first things first, I just want the word Sisters and Garden because I'm going to put Sisters Garden on here. And I am going to tape off, oh, I didn't do that very well, tape off part of the words that I don't want to appear on my sign because they won't all fit. And so I'm going to tape off these down here and just leave the word Sisters at the top. And we will dab our brush. Now I've got a big blob on there, but we're going to offload that. Probably will offload a little bit on the pot, but offloading that onto my cardboard, which you can't see because it's white on white, but anyway. So I'm going to just estimate the center here. If you really wanted to, you could get a little bit more accurate than I am. Let me see if I can fit this in the shot. There we go. I feel like I need to move this across a little bit. There we go. And I'm not reaching. So I'm going to estimate, but you could, this sign is like about, maybe about 15 inches, 14.5 inches long. So, and I'm just going to put the word sisters a little bit to the left and the word garden a little bit to the right. So it's not going to be super accurate, but this is just a fun, quick project. And then I can, using these hooks, add a bit of string. They can display it in their garden. Okay, that hardly has any paint on it, so I'm going to try again, add a little bit more paint. But as I say, it's easier to, oops, I've shifted that. It's easier to add more paint on than to take it off and have too much paint on your brush. And having too much paint on your brush can cause those fuzzy edges, so we don't want that. All right, so here we are, just using a nice bright white to make it stand out. Oh, we almost got to the end, but I can see that it's wearing out. I'm not sure if you can see that. You can see that I'm running out of paint by the time I get over here to this part of the word. So just a little dab in again. And someone was wanting the link. Maggie, were you wanting the link for the Stencil of the Month Club? It's right there in the pinned comments. And then there's other links that I've added. I've added the same link in the description of this live. I'm not sure if you can access that while it's live, but after the live's finished you can get it. But yeah, the pinned comment has this set, is the Stencil of the Month Club add-on. So make sure when you're ordering, and if you're ordering for the first time, you can get 50% off your first month using code IRESTORESTUFF. But make sure you select the add-on that you want the add-on, because that's where this stencil is coming from. Sisters, and then we want to have the word garden down the bottom. So we've got nice crisp lines there because we didn't have too much on the brush. And now we're going to do the word gardens, and I will just simply reuse these same bits of tape, peeling that off carefully. Now we have to come from this side, and I'll have to, because the letter D comes up above. That'll do. The letter D comes up in through the words, so I couldn't just do the whole thing. Okay. So this letter D is going to come up a little bit. It's going to go off my piece of wood, but you know, if you're doing this project, you would just do your own sizing of your own piece of wood there. The girls do have an Instagram page. You could follow their veggie garden episodes, or inspiration, if you're looking for inspiration. And it's called Sown Journal, as in S-O-W-N, Journal, G-O-U-R-N-A-L. If anyone is on Instagram and wants to follow them, I'm sure they'd love that. But they've grown all sorts of things. We have a lot of carrots at the moment. I actually blanched the carrots and froze a whole bunch, so I did a lot of chopping. I think that was on Monday I did that this week. So, oh Pat, you can't hear what I'm saying. Hopefully my microphone is plugged in. I will check that in just a minute. So is anyone else having trouble hearing what I'm saying? It should be crisp and clear if my microphone's plugged in correctly. So I'll just have a little double check on that to make sure, like the little cable hasn't pulled out or something up here. Just a second. Is that all right? You can hear me? Yes, everyone can hear. Everyone else can hear. That's unusual. I'm not sure if there might be a little, sometimes Facebook has their own volume button, so even though your phone's up, just make sure your Facebook has a volume on it as well, and that might need to be turned up. Just check on that. So there is the Sign Sisters garden, and then because they're not doing flowers, they're doing veggies and herbs and things, I thought I'd add a couple of stencils from the herb tags, which are, did I say that those ones? Oh, there's only 18 of these set left, so if you're into herbs and you want some little tags for that. These are made especially to go with the wooden tag set, which would also be a fun way. These are also available on the Essential Stencil main page, so that's essentialstencil.com, and you can use my code over there and get 10% off anything in the Essential Stencil site as well. So let's have a look. I think a couple of these, thyme and rosemary. I'm getting paint on my elbow here. We're just going to pop a couple of these either side of here. So there is thyme. Let me see, that one might look better going this way. You can turn them upside down, see that? And then the rosemary, doesn't matter if we go that way, does it? So I'm just going to see if I can hold really still on these. Does anyone else grow herbs? Has anyone else got a herb garden? Because those are things that you can sort of grow that they don't take up too much space. You can put them in a pot on your veranda if you're not out in the country somewhere. The herb tags, I've got them in the description of the live, but they're literally called herbs tags. If you just look up herbs, I think it should find them, and that's on the main Essential Stencil site, not on the Stencil of the Month Club, which we're mainly talking about today. So essentialstencil.com, and they've got a search button there, so if ever you're looking for anything in particular, I literally typed in garden when I went to do this project and found all of the garden, you know, the other tags and veggie garden labels and things like that. Lots of different stencils in there. Okay, so, I hope you could see that one. So there's the, what is that one? Rosemary. And then we've got this one over here, which is thyme. So I'm just going to hold that really still. So you could tape these down so that it doesn't go anywhere. And remember, we're offloading, just using kind of a medium size. Well, it's not, it's the smallest brush I thought I was using. But we've got small words for a small brush, so we're all good. Yeah, Michelle, these are great little herb tags. And don't forget, we do have free shipping all of January over on the main Essential Stencil site. Does not apply to the Stencil of the Month Club, but man, what a great opportunity to take advantage of that this month. And you're ordering, so. Maggie, you do, basil, thyme, oregano. Nice. Lovely to hear that you're growing herbs. They are so much of a fun thing to add to your cooking, so we can go outside and just grab some of those. So there we go, Sister's Garden. You know what? I think we need a little apostrophe for the word sisters. So that's a good opportunity to share with you about the bridging brushes, because these, if I wanted to, I could bridge those stencils right there. I'm just going to pop the brush into a little plastic bag so it doesn't dry out, because I'll be using the white for my next sign. But these are the bridging brushes. Now they're really, really fine tipped artist brushes with different shapes, but just, you know, tiny little bits on them. I won't go through all of these today, but you can just simply add a bit of white and close up those tiny little bridges that are essential for stencils to actually work properly. Otherwise we'd have big gaps missing in our letters like A and E and the D in the center there. So that's what the bridging brushes are for. But right now I'm just going to add a little apostrophe, and I will have to turn this up the right way so that I can see, so that, you know, grammatically it's correct because I just have to do that. So let's see, I will just dab a little bit off on my thing here so it's not as blobby. It needs to be just a little bit, there we go. There we go. We've got a little apostrophe on the sisters now. Sisters Garden. I'm feeling more grammatically correct. Okay, so that's our first project today. Let me just pop that in the water to wash that out. Let's look at another signboard. Now, this is approximately similar size, and you know, this one's got little hooks on it. I'll probably just add a string, but this is the kind of, it was just in a thrift store. People were giving away their craft projects, so I always thought it'd be a fun thing to do a stencil on. So that was a good one to do today. Now, we've got all of these beautiful flowers on here on our Stencil of the Month Club. If you've just joined us, we're talking about the Stencil of the Month Club with all of the months of the year with your birth month flowers on them. And I've seen some great projects by Amanda and Melissa have already done their stenciling on this week's live. So if you want to go back and have a look at some of theirs and what they've done with the stencil set, please do that. There's some great ideas there. And I am going to now do, I think that I will do our family garden, and I wanted to do this but add some of the flowers in the background. I do love this. So I mean, who else is going to get the add-on this month? Because this is the add-on, guys. Don't forget, it doesn't come with the regular set. You just need to choose add-on after when you've subscribed, depending on what subscription you want to get. So this is our family garden. It just fits on my signboard here, which again, it's about 14 inches long. Just a random offcut. So I want to put the words on last because I want to add flowers as the background behind this. So let me just shift my phone. I feel like it's just a little bit, needs to be pointed down a bit more. There we go. So I'm going to do, and I had this kind of planned in my head, but as with most things I do on the live, I'm just like winging it. So, everyone's added the add-on. Yes, those add-ons are great. Pam says, awesome add-ons. I've never been disappointed. So you get the add-ons regularly, Pam. That's great, yeah. Okay, so behind the word our family garden, I just want to add some flowers. And so I thought I'd sort of place it down here. So if you're doing this same project, you can place your sign down here and then kind of look at the flowers and think, how's this going to work? Which way will I do this? I've got to just move some things. They're all in the way. Again, I did think of using white for the flowers, but I want to use white for the words to make the words really stand out. So I might just use some random colours in the background for the garden flowers. This one is a snowdrop, so obviously that's going to be white, isn't it? But maybe I'll just do green because I don't want it to clash with the white. They're going to be in behind the words, but they're also going to show the words on, they're going to clash with the words, so I want them as a background. So I want them to be a little bit maybe darker, if you know what I mean. So I will do, let's see, if I do green, then maybe I can just do a little bit of white on there. So I'm going to use Pressed Fern, which is Fusion Mineral Paint colour, to add my flowers, and just grab another brush. Stencil brush here, and I've got my offloading cardboard here, and just going to dip a little bit of paint on the brush, and then offloading onto the cardboard here, which you can see now. Not a lot of paint on the brush, but we'll see how that goes first before I decide to add more. And I can always check again, is it going to, it will run through the word, okay, so, but we're just going to space out these flowers a little bit for each one. All right, can we see that? I'm just using the top of the flower. Obviously I'm not fitting the whole entire flower on, but nope, I can't see the word there, so I'll just, whoops, add a bit more paint to my brush. work it into the bristles. Oh, Pat, good question. Pat saying, could you put a transfer on first and paint over it? Yes, you can put transfers on your signboards and stencil on the top of them. It would depend on what type of paint you are using though. Okay, so just make sure it's going to be a durable paint that's going to adhere well. I use the fusion mineral paint because it does, like the name suggests, it fuses to lots of different surfaces. I use it for furniture painting. Okay, so there's my flower in the background, and it is a snowdrop, but I guess it's just an outline, so it's not going to matter too much. I might go over that when that's dry and paint it, the flower part, white. I'll just go over the leaves for now. So looking again at our family garden, I'm going to see if that sort of fits in. Yeah, it fits down underneath it. If I just pop another one down here. So I'll do that again, dipping my brush into my green paint lid right here. It's Fusion's Pressed Fern. Yeah, the green did pop out nicely on the wood, Peggy. I agree, it looks great. Oh, someone mentioned tea towels are a great idea. Yeah, I've done tea towels before too. So good for these flowers, and just making a whole set with all the different months and flowers. Great idea. Love to hear your ideas, and again, you will see once you join the club, the Stencil of the Month Club, you will see all the inspiration that's in the club Facebook group. Great to be a part of. Okay, so there's our flowers on the end there. I'll wait for that to dry a bit and then I'll go over that with the white. But before I do that, I will mention when you are going to use, so I've just said to you, I'm going to use white on these flowers. The thing that I need to do right now before I do that idea is clean, not my brush, but clean the stencil. Because if I'm going to do white on this exact spot here, I don't want any green to be then mixing with my white and making it a pale green. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing the flower part, but I might as well just clean the whole stencil while I'm here. So I've just used a wet cloth. If you leave the paint on too long, especially Fusion mineral paint, because it does stick really well, if I leave it too long, so usually after my lives, I'll have to add, if I've left it, I'll have to add a bit of Awesome Spray or something like that to really get the paint off. Because, and don't forget to get the back of your stencils when you're cleaning. So hopefully this stencil will dry too, because we don't want the stencil to be wet. It's really important that you have a dry brush and dry stencils. Okay, and clean your surface there, because that will get a bit, obviously this is dried paint and this isn't my kitchen table. This is a board that I've placed down. It's just a plastic board that I've placed down to stencil on. So I'll just let that dry, give it a bit of a wobble, and hopefully that'll dry to be white. And then I'll go on with the rest of my flowers that I had the idea for our family garden. Let's see, I'll put this green in this wet cloth because we may do some green leaves later. I'm not sure yet, so we'll see. Okay, what about something that's yellow? Or maybe, oh, I do like, where was it? I saw another one somewhere. The daisy. I loved the daisy. Now, is daisies white or yellow? Oh, I don't know. Have I picked another one that's, is it daisy? Yeah, it's a daisy. Let me know in the comments. Daisy's white or yellow? Because I was going to do yellow. Look, I can do it any color I want, can't I? Don't you think? Okay, so what I want to do is, I've got our family garden here. I want to sort of put the daisy in behind, but right about here. So it's like a nice big flower there. I think I can make it yellow. I'm just going to do that. Now, I did just eyeball it, but you could be a little bit more strategic. I'm just going to get some of that tape to put that down so it doesn't move. But then I can put our family garden back down on top to make sure that I've sort of got it in that general area. Okay. Oh, everyone says they've seen both white and yellow. Well, I'm going with the yellow then, because my friends here have said Yes, Essential Stencils reminding us that there is only 2 days to go for the Stencil of the Month Club joining, and then it will be closed again. So it's open for 7 days every month so that you can have the opportunity to join and tell your friends. So let people know. If you want to send them or share this live today, we would love it if you did that. Let your friends know that the club's open now. Okay, so we do have another little bit of daisy popping up from the base there, so I don't want that one in. And I'm just going to do my yellow. Now it's very blobby right there, so again, offload, rub it into the bristles. Thank you, Evelyn. Daisies are both white and yellow, says Pat. Jude says they're both colours. Okay, I'm getting more confident now. I'm going to go with the yellow. And also, it's just as a background, so I want to do the words, Our Family Garden, to really stand out. So I do like the way that we've got some flowers here. Most are sort of outline flowers, but there are a couple that are fill-in flowers. Now, what do I mean by that? So see how these, the flower that I'm doing now and these snowdrops, is that what they're called? They have outlines. So the stencil part that I'm stenciling is just an outline of the flower. But there are some flowers, let me show you one, like the water lily. That's a fill-in flower. So that has, so see this one has just got outlines. This one you're filling in and the outlines are just the little gaps. So that one will be a larger color area. So I like the way that these are just outlines, and then it really does lend to where I can just, you know, stencil the words over the top and they make a beautiful background on here. Let's see. Looking good. I feel like I could just do a little bit more coverage. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, I always like to add in new information, basic information on stenciling for people who are new. And let me know on that note, if you have never stenciled before, if you're brand new to stenciling, maybe someone's invited you or shared this live and you've gone like, what is this? I've never done stenciling before. I'd love to try it. These steps are for you, but also don't forget that there's lots of great info on the Essential Stencil lives that we have right here on the page. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And guys, don't forget, join in the conversation because there's prizes at the end. So if you just have joined and you are new to stenciling, let me know that in the comments. Let's see, is there anyone here who has not stenciled before, you want to give it a go? Let me know in the comments. We are giving away prizes at the end of our live, so you don't want to go anywhere. Join in, chatter, talk amongst yourselves. And to me, I always love it when you ask me questions because I do go back afterwards and look at them. Now, I had something here. Oh, is this back to front? September is the Morning Glory. Now, I did look that one up before and I didn't look up the daisy, but Morning Glory looks to be a bright purple or a bright blue, and I really didn't have any paint colors that were that. So again, it's got lots of vines, which I do like to feature those vines in this one. So I might just do the green color again and maybe make that more of the feature is the vines. I'm going to move it right across over here, and so if we've got that viney bit coming along there, and we'll do that green again. So we've got green on this side, green on this side, bit of yellow. Okay, I'm using the colour Pressed Fern. The yellow I used from Fusion Mineral Paint was called Little Star, if anyone was after that colour. I'm not sure if I added all of the colours that I used. I usually put that also in the description of the live. Now again, we have another little bit. Let me grab this. You could see it there. Just a little bit of flower coming down there. Will I just leave that off? All right, I wanted to leave the vine coming out here, so away we go. You could go over these, and I could fill in those little bits with my brushes. Why don't I do that? So you know how I was talking about that these are sort of more outline-y type stencil set. I could get my bridging brushes and fill in. So for this snowdrop and for these, I could find a purple somewhere. I do have another paint line that I stock here in Australia, an Australian brand, which you can't get over there in the States, but I do have some colours from that I might have to try later. All right, so there is that one, which is called, it's September's Morning Glory. Welcome to the newbies. Did we have someone on that is brand new? Excuse me. Yes, Susan, we do always recommend practicing on some scrap paper before you do your stenciling project. But again, this was actually, if I tell you that, to be honest, I did have another stenciled sign on here and I just sanded it back. So, you know, I've done that before. Here it is, our family garden. We've got this one here. I feel like I need just another sort of something here. So I lay down my sign part, the words, to just have a little look and see. What did I think I was going to put on there? I do like that. Oh, that is the daffodil. Then what's this one? Where is it? Narcissus. Sounds like Narcissus, doesn't it? That flower. I thought that was a daffodil. So we've got a couple of different, you know, similar flowers here. But I might use this one. And again, I'll do a yellow because that sounds like fun. So I'm going to pop this flower down in between the space between our and family, and then this one will just kind of pop off the wood there. So if I hold that really still, and it'll be around about where I want it, slip out that and slip on some tape that I have over here, and I'll just do that all yellow. I could leave these leaves here, but I may just tape those off. But you can leave them on if you want. And let's pop that yellow back on. Tracy, you are new to stenciling. Is it Tracy and David Gross? New to stenciling. I bought several stencils and can't wait to do them. Awesome. I always recommend practicing on cardboard or cardstock, and the stencils will arrive in the Stencil of the Month Club stencils. Here we go. See what I've done? I literally cut up my packaging, the famous blue envelope that you know when the mail person has arrived and they've brought you a blue envelope, you know that it's going to be good. So that's our Stencil of the Month Club packaging, and I literally just cut that up and use it for offloading on my stencils. But you can also use it because it's got a nice bright white inside. Just cut up the inside and do your practicing. Practice stenciling on a piece of cardboard first. So that's what I always recommend. If you don't already have the stencil brushes, these are great value and are especially made for stenciling with a nice flat and round surface on the end. So that does make a difference. I know that people will probably agree with me in the comments that they have found it beneficial to have a couple of sets, because when we're working with lots of colors here, like we are today, especially if you're working with flowers, you know, so many different colors, you may want to have a new set of stencils, stencil brushes, sorry, for each color. You probably will want that because it's really important, as I was saying earlier, to have a dry brush. So if you've just washed out your brush and then you want to stencil something else, that wet in the brush stays there and then mixes with your paint, and it waters down the paint, which then causes it to bleed under the stencils. So that kind of makes a little bit messy, or you get those fuzzy edges again. So it's really important to have a dry brush when you're stenciling. All right, I think we're ready to put our words on. I'm happy with that. We've got a nice little background, and we've got our, although I was going to show you just really quickly, let's see if we can just grab those bridging brushes and see if we can make, but I don't want it to stand out too much. I was going to add some white in here to the snowdrops and then to these. I just don't want it to show too much because I want the words to really stand out. So I'm actually going to rub a lot of this off onto my cardboard. I'm just using one of the bridging brushes, so if you don't have those, they are for bridging, but also great for filling in. So I'm just going to do a little bit of dry brushing on there. Whoops, see, we don't have enough, but it's better to have not enough than too much. Okay, so I'm just going to just do a little, see if we can bring that up a bit closer to see what I'm doing. So I'm just dry brushing it down, adding a little bit there. I'm not trying to fill it right in because I want my words to stand out more. So it's just sort of causing a bit of a dry brushing technique to just look a little bit rustic there. Can you see that? It's just kind of, and I've offloaded it a little bit. So usually with the these brushes you don't need to offload them. I'm just doing that to create a bit of a rustic looking flower there. And this one is the number 3 brush, but you know, as with anything, just find which one best suits you. Can we see that? Oops. If you've just joined us before I will just reiterate that we are using the Stencil of the Month Club set, and we've got 2 more days to join the club. If you haven't already, use my code IRESTORESTUFF and you'll get 50% off your first month of the club, which is a great deal. And now over on these ones, what were these called again? I can't remember. There's a little viney thing on them. Let's see if I can get it this way. These were supposed to be, those were snowdrops. This one was called something else. Someone will let me know in the comments, I'm sure. And just a little bit more on my brush. It's drying out a bit. Whoops, really rough there. And so if you were to put this and hang it in the garden, you would want to seal it. I mean, the Fusion Mineral Paint is really quite durable. That's what I'm using today. If you're needing a link for that, I've got an affiliate link for Fusion Mineral Paint. I'd love to give you that, so reach out in the comments and let me know if you want that. There we go. Morning glory, thank you. Someone's told me that. Okay, so if you can see, I've just roughly done sort of a dry brushy look on those flowers, because I will show you why, and I'll put that one in there ready to dry, washing it out. So the Stencil of the Month Club comes with all of those different flowers with the different birth months. This is the add-on that I'm now adding on to my flower background. Isn't that cute? You could just make a sign like that full of flowers and that would look pretty cute. Okay, so there it is. I've got the daisy in the middle here. I've got these flowers sort of featuring there, and I'm going to get my white brush that I was using before. And if you were worried about actually getting your brush on these bits, make sure you, oh, I didn't have a white brush, here we go. Make sure that you have taped those down. There's really not anywhere that I can properly tape on here, so I'm just going to hold it to the signboard, I'm just going to hold it down with my hand. So here's our, oh, I did put my white brush in a plastic bag. I forgot. Well, now I've got 2 brushes with white on them. Okay, so we've offloaded our brush as much as we can, worked it into the bristles. Now we've got our family garden nicely centered across the flowers, and we're just going to do what I call a swirling method. And the only way you can do this successfully is if you've got hardly any paint on your brush. So just when you think you've got it all off your brush, rub off some more onto your offloading cardboard, and see how long this is lasting. It's probably, I had a lot more paint on my brush there, but it really does go a long way when you just do this swirling, and it's a lot faster, I feel, but you'll get the flow of it. It does take a bit of practice, and like we were saying before, practice on a piece of cardboard or something before you paint on your favourite piece of furniture or paint on your t-shirt or your tea towel or whatever you're going to be stenciling on. There's lots more video tutorial lives in our previous videos. You'll find that in the video section right here at Essential Stencil Facebook page. Lots of info on the website. Okay, happy with that, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, it does look like it's a bit busy, but you can still see that there. It's sort of popping out. What I could have done is just kind of gently sanded back these background flowers, or you could have added a little bit of shadowing there to see that stand out a little bit more. But I love the way that turned out, and that's using the add-on. Now, I have run out of time, and I was going to, potentially, because I always go, well, how many projects can I fit in today? But I'll show you another idea that I did have, because I had one more of these boards here. And what does fit is these cute January, February, like just the names alone. How many things you could use these month names for, for other stenciling projects, that we've got on the regular Essential Stencil page. But a board like this, I worked out we can fit January, February, March, April, May, June, July. You can fit 12 down a board. So you could just measure that out. They're about, let me see, I'll tell you exactly. The height of the word, I'm doing centimetres, okay, because we do that in Australia. It's less than an inch, so they're less than an inch. So if you space them nicely down the board, and then you could finish off, my idea was to finish off about, it probably did go 12 names fit to about here, and then you could add a flower down the bottom or something similar. But the flowers also look great, just all nice, in as one flower there, and add February violet, make a whole bunch of these boards. So there you go. That's my ideas for today. And we are going to pick some winners today. So let me just pop you up here so I can see, and you can see my face. So just a reminder that you can join in the next 2 days, stencilofthemonthclub.com, get 50% off using my code IRESTORESTUFF. And if you do want all those words and the fun sayings, you'll need to add the add-on. Make sure you've got that. You can join for several months at a time, but you get that first month 50% off using my code IRESTORESTUFF. Thank you so much for those who did this. And you can follow me at IRESTORESTUFF on all of the Facebook, on Instagram, on all of the different places. And on our regular site, don't forget, there's a sneak peek of the spring bundle coming up. You can use my code for that next week too, IRESTORESTUFF, and get another 10% off the bundles. 2 bundles, guys, 2 bundles, a big one and a little one. Can't wait for that. And it's free shipping January on the Essential Stencil site, not the Stencil of the Month Club site. I think I covered everything. Congratulations to our winners today. Here's the fun signs that we made from today's Stencil of the Month Club. And our winners today are Terry Preston, Amy White Bear, and Tracy Gross. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all of your encouragement, because I love going through and reading your comments later and responding to those. So congratulations to the winners. I'll see you again next week for another fun live DIY. I'm Sharon from IRESTORESTUFF. Bye.